Hello everyone! In Battle for Azeroth Alpha, we get the party with the Zandalar trolls, who once upon a time were amongst the most powerful of the trolls and brought their people together. The Sundering, the Well of Eternity breaking the world apart, that turned our home into an island, while the Cataclysm, Deathwing breaking out the world, that didn't do much good for the home either. The destruction did not come without warning though, as Prophet Zul told his king of the visions he had seen. Rastakhan eventually grew tired of Zul and his souling nightmares. To be rid of the prophets, he granted Zul the use of his largest ships, so that he and his followers could seek a new land if his visions came to pass. As we now know, his visions did come to pass, and Zul worked on uniting the troll tribes under one single banner, and he tried to claim the land of Pandaria by using their old allegiance with the Thunder King. We stopped their plans and the threat of Lei Shen, but now we have Zul and Princess Talanji, daughter of Rastakhan, on yet another mission. What we're told is that a vessel containing important information, it was en route for Bladefist Bay, but that ship never arrived. Sylvan's scouts have reported that it was seized by the Alliance and taken to Stormwind. We're sent out to find this vessel and its contents, which turn out to be the princess and the prophets. His visions guide away out of Stormwind, and while a war chief wanted the princess to come back to Orgrimmar, she needs to return to her own people. We're going to Zuldazar, and since this is her ship and this is her only way out of Stormwind, we're going to do it her way. And the next thing we know is that we're standing in the port of Zandalar, near the capital of Zuldazar, but this area is not available for testing quite yet. Instead, they teleport us to Nazmir, where the Horde, they need to help the princess with the blood troll threat. Despite her father thinking that this threat will just go away on its own like it did in the past, she knows better now and knows that things are different. But not even the princess had foreseen exactly how powerful the blood trolls now are under the leadership of Athena. In a placeholder cinematic, they reveal their true power: a giant, corrupted Titan monster, huge army of blood trolls, and Athena mocking Talanji. They invoke the name of Gahun as their master, their source of power, and to end the blood troll threats, we're gonna need a lot of help. Thankfully, Nazmir is home to several Loa, whose power is much needed in this battle. It's going to be up to us to try and get them to their side. There's Bun-Samdi, the Loa of Death. Now he's a powerful one, but also very dangerous, always making deals. Not the first time either that we see him in the game. Now the term Loa, that seems to mingle with the term Wild God from time to time, but basically they're powerful troll gods that can grant power to those that they favor, or horrible torment on those that they do not. Vol'jin, for example, he had a strong connection to the Loa after going through his trials to become a shadow hunter. He was even granted visions of the future, but his then friend Zelazane, he saw a different path for him and his people, which put these two at odds. Zelazane even dared to take the Echo Isles, the home of the Darkspear, for himself, but around the end of Wrath of the Lich King, around the start of the Cataclysm, we finally got the opportunity to reclaim them. Vol'jin even called upon the aid of Bun-Samdi, who wondered why he should help. It's been a long time since the Darksphere honored him, but that was only because Zalazane had driven him out. So of course, the Loa helped the Darkspears with taking care of him, and in return, he would hear their drums again. He would drink their ritual offerings once more, while Zalazane was foolish enough to piss off a very powerful Loa. A nice touch, which they didn't forget to put in his domain. Since Gahun and his followers had been taking the souls that rightfully belonged to him, Bun-Samdi eventually agrees to lend his aid to us after we prove ourselves worthy of a deal. He'll pledge his powers to us against our foes. Now in exchange, we'll have to send him 1 million souls. Grandmother Athena is even bold enough to try and take him on in his own domain, but we fight her off, and with Bun-Samdi looking over us, we even get a free rest in the zone with a cooldown of 30 minutes. Hirik is the bad Loa, very cunning, and he might know how to stop all of this, but it seems that his connection to the blood has made him more willing to actually side with the blood trolls, so we have no other choice but to kill the Loa. Now I assume that killing a Loa, that has a similar effect to killing wild gods, as in we send them back to the realm that they came from, as we've seen with wild gods like Cenarius, for example. When the orcs killed Cenarius in Warcraft 3, he didn't actually die, he went to the Emerald Dream, from which we later on summoned him back to Azeroth. Then there is Torga, the Turtle Loa. He is wise and benevolent, and a race called Tortollan. They hold a pilgrimage to see him and listen to his legendary stories. Those that play Hearthstone, you might recognize this race, as they were added with the Journey to Unguro expansion, and they come across as a hybrid of Grummels and Lorewalkers. They're fascinated by stories and carry scrolls of power with them, power which we can use against the Blood Trolls, as they sadly already slain Torga, and are using his body and power for very dark rituals. Summoner Yars is busy with summoning Yungo, Avatar of the Blood God, who seems to be a little bit too powerful for us to take head on, but after stripping away some of its power, the princess is able to rip him apart. This proves nothing. He will claim another vessel, seals will break, Gahun will be free, he says. But for now, we bought ourselves some valuable time. Now this doesn't exactly fix the problem of the dead Loa that we have, but the turtle god, he was smart enough to think ahead. He is given a powerful scroll to the Tortollan, one that was said to be used to put a Loa spirit to rest. Well, actually, it's used to begin the cycle of rebirth, as Tortola is reincarnated as a teeny tiny cute little turtle. The last of the Loa on our list, that is Krakwa, the frog Loa, very strong and does not put up with the evil of the blood trolls. He is still very much alive, but not at full power, so we help him with regaining his strength, and he honors us with his aid. Not just the Loa are recruited for the upcoming battle, the Horde is also kind enough to send over reinforcements, in the form of the God Squad, for example, but their travels did not go without complications. Naga and Sea Giants, they wreck their transport vessels, and they do some serious damage to their A-mod. Nothing a bit of spit and hard work can't fix though, and despite expecting disaster from this, their battlesuit actually does insane amounts of damage to the enemy. With all of that, we're almost ready to return to Zul'jin, to return where our journey started and end the blood troll threat. But first, we need to check out something strange. There's a remnant of some sort of statue in Gloom Hollow, and Talanchi could swear that he saw something moving inside of it, ever since we aided Kragwa. Rokan knows that we have some experience with this sort of thing, as the statue is actually a new Titan Keeper, which is called Hezrel. His data core has been damaged, while his protocols are to contain the corruption within Nazmir, a task currently impossible due to this damage. Keeper Shavras and Keeper Bolkan, they're also in the area. Now their data cores are going to be needed to help repair our Keeper friends. The area that he was supposed to keep under control, that is now overflowing with corruption. Blood trolls are performing rituals, undead dinosaurs patrol the area, void portals are running rampant, and even faceless ones, they've taken over this facility. We clean up the place, we take care of business, until we have to reclaim the containment protocol for Hezrel, which will fully reboot his defense systems and allows him to properly maintain the containment. This slab is apparently the key to sealing Gahun and is taken by Overlord Kraxis. We take him down, of course, and we try to contain Nazmir's corruption. This is done within a little placeholder cinematic, where the Keeper reveals that Gahun is an old god being experimented upon. He also reveals that blood trolls want to destroy Zuldazar in order to free Gahun. There's no way of fixing the current containment. We must protect Zuldazar, but Athena shows up once more, badly damages Hezrel, and then she prepares to strike. We're able to fight her off once again, and as we go into this final battle, let's talk a little bit about what's going on here and what we know from outside sources. With BlizzCon 2017, we learned from a Blizz Planet interview that this facility in the area, it was a Titan facility, very similar to places like Ulduar or Ankh-Raj. In this location, they were experimenting on an old god, trying to solve the old god problem, but as you might imagine, experimenting on old gods, that has the potential of really bad stuff starting to happen. Instead, they ended up creating something far worse, a new blood god called Gahun, which they apparently sealed away, but the seals they're starting to break, and that is what the blood trolls are after. Apparently, this facility only has one of the 3 seals remaining on it. During the course of the expansion, we're going to discover what exactly happened to that last seal. Now, when we're talking about new old gods and new Titan Keepers, a lot of the feedback that I heard was, but what about the Chronicles? That book is designed to clean up the lore, and it makes no mention of a 5th old god or even these Titan Keepers. Now, on the subject of retconning the Chronicles in general, I'm of the mindset that they've announced Chronicles like 3 years ago now, and despite it trying to make a more cohesive story, trying to clean up some of the lore that we know and try to make one consistent truth, I can't really blame them for making changes in the future. The story in the game is something still going on, and I'd hate to see them confine their creativity just because the Chronicles is something else. That's not to say that this is necessarily a retcon though. And retcon, for those unaware, that means changing the story as it was previously established. Chronicles says that there are 4 old gods with a map detailing their locations, and stories for the Titan Keepers that were created by the Titans. Now apparently here we see a 5th old god and new keepers, so they changed the story in Chronicles, right? They retconned the Chronicles, but that's not necessarily the case. If you compare Hezrel's behavior to the other keepers that we see, he seems seems to be a lot more robotic and in need of input compared to the others, almost as if he's a robot created purely for this facility. The information that we have on Gahun, on this old god, it makes it seem like he's not part of the original old gods that we knew of, but one accidentally created when they experimented. This could be experiments on the pieces of Yashiraj's body that fell back on the planet when they ripped him out, like the heart of Yashiraj that we saw in Pandaria, or some make a link with his name, Gahun, to the old god Kafun. Either way, it's possible that this one didn't come to be until much later. That's information we don't really know quite yet. Details still shrouded. All we know is that our forces have gathered for the final confrontation in an attempt to take care of the blood troll threat. The Gob Squad, they set up their weapon and fires at the construct, but the magical barrier being caused by Grandmother Athena, that prevents any damage from being taken. She is our final obstacle in the way, so we confront her one last time, and with her demise, the Gob Squad blasts the construct. This time, it does connect, and it falls through the floor, plummeting into the depths down below. Now our final battle here, that is done. We've made a good friends with the Torthollans, and we've even gained powerful allies in the Loa. That's a good thing, as Talanji feels that we'll need to call upon their aid in the future, as we report back to the finals in an area that's not available for testing. But of course, it would be foolish to think that the blood trolls are no longer a threat. We might have taken care of the leader, but Gahun is still out there, a raid boss waiting to be taken on by both the Alliance and the Hordes. With time, I'm sure we're gonna get more details as to how we're going to go into this raid, why the blood trolls are assaulting the capital, all the good stuff, but for now, this is the story of Nazmir in a nutshell. Like I've done last week on the Alliance side, I'll upload the full playthrough coming Thursday, so you can check out all the quests in your own time, and let me just say, there are a few that really stand out. The details in this zone are really nice. Where I felt on the Alliance side that it was a little bit repetitive, this zone just feels complete. It has humor, it has fun storylines, some interesting lore going on. This zone is ready to go. Let's just put it like that. If they can fix a couple of the bugs here and there, fix a couple of the crashes, and of course implement voice acting, this one is well ready to be shipped, and it was an absolute pleasure to play through it. That's just my opinion though. For now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time guys, see ya!